Good Monday to you. Another big time heat day across portions of the U.S. on these final few weeks of summer. Heat advisories in place around portions of the South, while storms to be had around areas of the Midwest. But heat advisories in areas of Alabama on into Georgia, where heat indices as warm as 103 degrees here in these last few weeks of summer. And notice Atlanta, among the hottest temperatures of 2019 happening in these last few weeks as well, up to 98 degrees, where that is about 14 degrees above average. And yes, it cools off a little bit over the next several days, but even still, pick your spot. Just about everyone remains above average here for this time of year. Back across the Midwest we go, where thunderstorms abound along a frontal boundary across this region, where we expect these storms to really fire up later on Monday afternoon and potentially once again on Tuesday afternoon as well. In fact, the biggest concern is for damaging winds, for some large hail as well. And notice areas around Minneapolis, Madison, Des Moines, Sioux Falls. That's the area of concern. So any travel plans across that region should really monitor it here for these strong storms later into the afternoon hours. And really this area becomes the problem spot for much of this upcoming week. In fact, you look at the forecast models, as much as 4 to 6 inches of rainfall, potentially the wettest spot in the country, right there across the northern tier of Minnesota over the next several days. As far as the broad perspective here, we'll go with above average temperatures at least much of this week, and some of that even expands in on towards the northeast, where New York City climbs up to the middle 80s. 78 is average for this time of year. And then quick glance at what is happening offshore. A couple areas of interest to talk about: a 40% probability within the next 5 days in the Atlantic and a 20%. And whether this forms or not yet to be seen, but of course a lot of rainfall in areas we don't want to see rainfall, the biggest concern across that region. I'm Pedram Javaheri, CNN Weather.
Let's talk about what's happening in Seattle. This was a rare phenomenon, to say the least. Take a look at this video. Now, around the world, perhaps you're used to thunderstorms. It happens. I'll tell you, I lived in Seattle for 5 years, and you would never see anything like this.
You usually just get what we call flat rain, right? There's not much lift to the atmosphere, so you don't get to tap into the lightning there. But that was not the case through the overnight hours. My goodness, over 1,000 strikes in 3 hours. That is quite something for Seattle. They can go many months without seeing one lightning strike, and they got a lot of them tonight.
A lot of it, for sure.